you are?
I'm an outlaw poet.
Outlaw! Arrest that man.
I'm in there.
Security.
I won't even go into that story. In fact, I have a few books that are available on Amazon, including The Prison Letters of Justin Booth, that a friend of mine, Marcia Camp, put together. Letters I wrote while I was in prison. The other books that I have are collections of my poetry. Tonight I'm going to share a little poetry and a little prose because it's not my show, so I only have a little time. I used to, I still know a girl named Lisa Marie.
Of course you did.
She dated Justin Townes Earl. And I don't know if you know Justin Townes Earl, but after him, I looked pretty desirable because I shot much less heroin than he did. But she lived in Nashville, and when I first met her, by way of introduction, she told me my grandpa called me High Pockets. Everybody loved my grandpa. This is a poem called Everybody Loved My Grandpa. Her pockets weren't the only things that had been high in Nashville, living mood to mood with a pimp son of a ton of great songs and that one from the radio. His chip bigger than his shoulders, maybe a little greater than his talent. No, she had been junkie, angels high, and front yard crying low. She'd mostly come back, crashing hard, but walking away, and they say that makes it a good landing. He was not in better shape, and truth told, a little crazy still for dope and booze and the records of her former Harlem River daddy, her other favorites too. She'd made it back, had to get back, down to Arkansas, back to the farm. He dropped in there, traveling from the last place to any place next, a big shot, without a single dollar bill. They took a ride down back roads, the trash in the floorboards ankle deep. She drank her last beer. He smoked a cashed bowl. They bragged about scars, laughed like they'd never seen death eating crackers, the shake and bake kits, the famine eating the rest of them, its teeth deep and drawing back blood before pushing in. Then they talked small-voiced about ones who didn't come down, buried in boxes in worm-riddled ground. When their time was done, they never noticed counting out change at the Legion, ordered 2 more cheap beers, then huddled and chuckled and shed half a tear, but everybody knew that they were too much alike to be real. So instead, she hugged his neck and said, again, spoon. But he was already writing a sad story in his head, and she was just like her grandpa, and he was just like everybody else. Woo! A little excerpt. If you guys, this is, I think, 3rd week, and when I read prose, I tend to read about this character Ethan Blue. If you get tired of it, too bad, because it's because I'm trying to write a big novel, and I'm doing it a little bit at a time, writing short stories. So you're going to hear a lot about Ethan Blue and characters in his world.
Do you, baby?
Some people say he reminds them of me. And I should say, this is the first time I'm new to Austin, and there's a despicable character who happens to be Mexican in this story. And I do the worst Mexican accent in the world. So bear with me. What is friendship? What does it mean? Are we friends, Ethan Blue? We have an arrangement, yes, but more, I think. I think we are friends. When the chongos came at me in the joint, you stood by me. You spilled blood, yes, that I might live, yes. You can imagine then my disappointment when I hear the chica will not be mine. When I hear that it is my friend who has sent her away to protect her from me. You think you're a Pancho Villa, yes? You think you're a Jesus, you're Don Quixote, wasting your time and mine. I am so bad. You think I would not take care of this girl? I do not offer her some sort of better life? It was true, Ethan thought. She would not want for deals. She would have nice things, at least for a while. She would never stand shivering in the streets, shifting from one foot to the other, waiting for hungry men who would pay for her attention. Who was he really to pass judgment on other men? He had never been an angel himself. In the end, though, he knew he had done the right thing. I am your friend, Cabron. We've always worked well together. And yet, what of loyalty, amigo? What of these things that made me sleep well at night, knowing you only wish good things for me? What of it? What of it? Ethan asked. Do you know the samurai, Ethan? The Japanese samurai warriors? They were the ultimate when it came to loyalty. Did you know that samurai means to serve in their language? I am involved with certain men, Ethan, some of them descendants of the samurai, making them samurai themselves. These friends of mine, they have an excellent means of proving oneself loyal. Yes. Do you know what I mean, Ethan? Ethan looked at the hatchet and then back at the Mexican and then back at the hatchet again. The Mexican let out a huge belly laugh and looked over at Ethan. Yes, you are a clever one, Ethan Blue. I never have to spell it out for you. Tu comprendo primero for me sometimes. It is a simple thing, really, my friend. And after all, 9 is as good as 10. Mas y manos, huh? And he laughed some more, a deep and menacing laugh. When Ethan leaned forward to grasp the hatchet, his laughter stopped abruptly, and his hand was suddenly filled with a large caliber handgun, just in case you need inspiration. Ethan looked into his eyes, afraid, maybe for the first time in his entire life. This was not going to end in any way good. He leaned, and he snatched up the hatchet, and his host jerked back in spite of the pistol, but Ethan didn't make any threatening gestures. Instead, he smiled and said to the Mexican, "This then, and then we're friends. Yes, amigo?" And the Mexican said, "See, this then, and a promise that you will never again interfere. And then we are amigos, my friend." And that's just an excerpt. Thank you, guys.